Valencia, I want to be where you are.
And that background is where I want to be too. I'm actually in North Carolina.
Hello, Mr. Aaron Decker.
How you doing, Mr. Palmer?
Can you guys hear
Great.
me?
Yes,
You can.
man.
You're looking good.
So,
Love your jacket.
John, can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, there we go.
Jared.
Hey, Jared.
Hey, Jared.
Hey, everyone.
Hello there.
Good to see you all. Hello, Valencia.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Good.
Hey, Art.
Hey, Frank, how you doing this morning, this afternoon?
I'm great.
Good.
This evening, 7 p.m. SAST.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Let me press record. And then we're sort of good to go. Can you guys hear me good? Everybody go?
Sure can.
We
Welcome,
got you. We
everybody.
got you.
Perfect.
That's better. Okay, well, welcome to our panelists and welcome to everybody on our call today. We're going to have some fun and we're going to get into some really interesting stuff today. So thank you everybody for making the time and for being available today. And just in no particular order, I'll start with Valencia. Welcome, Valencia. It's good to have you on this call today.
It is
Thank you
good to be here. Excited.
And I'm loving your background. Can we have our next meeting there? Whatever that
I
is.
suggest that we make that happen for sure.
Yes. Art, welcome, sir. Good to have you.
Absolutely fantastic to be here, Craig. Thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of this great group, and looking forward to all the great things that's getting ready to take place.
Absolutely. Aaron Decker, welcome, sir. Good to see
Hello,
your
sir.
energized, vibey face.
Always good to be here.
Cool. And Jared, hello, buddy. Welcome.
Guys,
My
so happy
colleague
to be on the
Jared,
panel with you all.
on the ground in South Africa. Brent Palmer, welcome, Mr. Brent Palmer, Coach Palmer. Good to have you here, sir.
Good to be here.
And John Wadsworth in Puerto Rico. Hello, John. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. Great to be here.
Cool. So let's get started today. I'm assuming, Jared, Facebook Live is working. Everything is cool. And I've pressed record and we're
Good to go.
So to everybody that's on this call, welcome. Today is a really a training opportunity. I think the important thing to do is to pull out your pen and paper and to take some notes, because as we have opened up Africa, particularly Southern Africa, as we've started with Southern Africa, we did the product reveal last week where we shared with you what the product portfolio is that we're starting with and what products you have available in South Africa. Now we want to start talking about how do you as an entrepreneur in your own business in partnership with NewAge start putting this all together, getting maximum value. How do you extract as much value from the NewAge compensation plan that we have in Africa? But I think the most important part is that we have a pretty cool promotion happening right now. As a public company, NewAge is listed on the New York Stock Exchange. And as a public company, one of the things that our CEO, Mr. Brent Willis, did, because he has roots back to Africa, and as he says all the time, for him, Africa is personal, is he set aside some shares for brand partners across Africa, starting in Southern Africa, that you could earn some shares and stocks and share options in NewAge. And so the purpose of today's call is to not candy coat it, to give it to you straight and show you how you can extract maximum value and what you need to do to get access to the Brent Willis challenge so you can get some of those shares for you and your family. And so before we start, I'm gonna give everybody on the panel an opportunity to talk around why that's a big deal in their mind. But to set up today's call, I really want to reiterate something to everybody that's listening in. Everybody that you see on this call is a dollar millionaire many times over as a result of this industry. They've created an asset that pays them and will continue to pay them and their family for generations to come. And the reason that I think that that is pretty important is I don't know anywhere else that you could gather the intellectual property together in a room where, or when I say in a room, I'm talking about virtually, right? In a Zoom room, like we've got gathered here today, where you have a collection of 5 dollar millionaires from this industry who you haven't had to pay for their time. You haven't had to pay for their time. This is not, and with all due respect to these events, whether it be a Tony Robbins event or any other event where there's motivational speakers who are incredibly successful and wealthy who come on and talk, you got to pay to attend those events. And here you have an opportunity where you have dollar millionaires gathered together that are going to share with you their IP, how they've cracked the code, what they did to achieve success, and you don't have to pay them for their time. And they're willing to share and give unconditionally without anything in return. And I think there's a positive to that and there's a negative to that. The positive to that is you get to tap into that IP and use it. The negative to that is that because you didn't pay for it, you might not realize what the true value of this is. And the value, if used, could create the same asset for you and your family for generations to come. So I'm going to open up to our panel. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to open up to our panel in no particular, well, we'll start with Valencia again, Valencia, just because you're the rose amongst the thorns here today. So,
Oh, there's just so much I can say about what Craig just said to everyone listening. You know, I'll key in on a couple of things. Number one, he mentioned the word ownership, and that should make everyone just sit up, pay more than the usual attention, because there's not a lot of, companies that say, hey, do this, and I'll give you a piece of the company. And to have a piece of a publicly traded company is an asset in and of itself. It is, invaluable. It's more than we can just talk about in this little bit of conversation. But that's number one, the idea that you can partner up with this company, create, dollars for yourself, but then also have ownership in the company. And I keep using that word because it's so significant. And then the second thing that he said is we have a tendency to pay more attention to things that we spend our money on, that we pay money for. Well, because this is coming to you absolutely free, don't take it for granted. I always tell people we live in a world of distractions today. So you're on the Zoom, but you could be watching television at the same time, talking to the children, helping with homework, eating, doing all of those things. I am going to ask you, if you're serious about creating ownership, just step away from everything else for just a minute. Get a pen, as Craig said, write down some information, because the nuggets that you're going to receive today can put you on the path where ownership is not just something that's out there, but it's something for you personally. And you can go out and make it happen for you and your family. So pay very close attention, more than the usual attention, to what every individual shares, because we're going to give you the roadmap to success.
Mhm.
And that's what happened for me. I didn't have a skill set. I was coachable enough to sit down and listen. And so that's what I implore you to do during this presentation today.
Well said, Valencia. Don't you all agree that if you look at some of the most successful leaders in this industry, their war cry is to their mentor or their coach is, what next?
Absolutely.
Like, what next, coach? What's next? Okay, I've got that done. What next? Aaron, anything you would like to add into that?
I love what Valencia said about serious. You know, so many people, and there might be some people that are on here and they're just curious. They're just curious about, hey, what's going on in Africa? Curious about this company. But if you're someone that's serious, and you're like, okay, this is it. Craig, I don't know many times in our life. I think somebody said maybe there's 2 times. I don't know if this is the first for all of you or the second, that an opportunity comes around that you and I have the ability to seize and go make something happen. And here it's really not a monetary investment, but it is a sweat equity investment. And it does take effort. And the thing that I love about this industry, and in particular this company, is anyone, I'm living proof, anyone can learn the skills to become a professional in this industry. It's a skill-based business. It's not a personality business. It's not a where you came from business. It's not an education business because you went to a certain college, you got a certain degree, you came from a certain background. It doesn't matter. It's an equal playing field. And for some people, Craig, quite honestly, that scares them because they're used to, well, don't you know who I am? And they've got so far in life because of who they are or what background they have. This is equal. So if you're looking for an equal opportunity and you're ready to be serious and learn some skills, Craig, having the ownership, having the mentorship, and everything that goes along with it, as it pertains to Africa, the last thing I'll say is that first mover advantage to really capture that market share. You're sitting in such a great spot.
Yes, sir. Well said.
So Craig, Aaron just nailed it. He said ground floor. This is ground floor, made for Africa opportunity. You may not see this again in your lifetime when all of these stars align. Those of you who participated in our last couple seminars saw how to transform your health. Today's about transforming your wealth. This is about transforming your own life, your family's life, and your future generations' lives, not just by earning cash from immediate sales, but grabbing hold of a limited time available asset in the form of shares in a publicly traded company that you can set aside while you're building your business, and it will grow. And you'll turn around 5 years from now and say, wow, I'm so glad I seized that day.
Well said, John. Art, Brent, feel free to chime in. I'm not going to call you out if you have something to add.
Yeah, I'd tell you, first of all, Craig, I want to say that, thank you to you because, when we first met about this, one of the things you said you were going to do is that focus on the people in Africa in terms of what they need, not something that is just happening around the world. And when you do that, that means you care about those individuals. As we're talking about this great place of being able to have ownership, that's one of the things that really got my attention. And because when you start thinking about ownership, you start to think about the legacy. You start to think about what you can leave behind generations to come. It's not just for you. A lot of times people focus on, just what can I do? And a lot of times when I talk to people, I tell them, to take the me and the I out of it. Because if you're listening to this and, you're thinking about, whether you want to make the decision to get ownership or get a piece of this company, one of the things you want to think about is, what about my family right now? What about my family to come? And those are things that stayed in my mind as I started to look at this. And I appreciate what Mr. Aaron Decker said and Ms. Valencia Pamphile said, because, the simplicity of this. One of the things I always tell people, and I appreciate this company, NewAge, because whenever it's simple, it becomes attractive. And so we keep things simple and attractive. And so that's why it's a level ground field for everyone, because it is simple and attractive over here. And every single person, no matter what your background is, you can partake in this, and you can have success, not just for you, but for your family. And then lastly, one of the things, and Mr. Craig mentioned this in the beginning, and that is the togetherness. We get to do this together. Like, you're not doing this by yourself. We're all here together, and you'll probably never have another opportunity like this where we all come together. And I always think about my mentors and my coaches has a lot to do with to where I am today. And all of us can relate to, and some of that are listening can relate to, you know, being down at some point in time and another. But being down is a part of the success. You have to go down to appreciate what it takes to come up. But in order to come up, you have to have someone that, one, helps you come up, but also teaches you how to continue to come up. And that's why I'm excited to be here. So thank you so much for inviting us to this platform, Craig.
We are the ones that are grateful. Brent, you know, Art spoke about being a coach, and that's what you spent a large portion of your adult life doing. And you know, one of the things I think we have access to in this space is not only do you have coaches who have a vested financial interest in you, you have instances like today where 90% of the people on this call listening in today, nobody on this panel has a vested financial interest in them, but they're contributing and giving unconditionally and will be cheering on from the sidelines, essentially for their competition. Because most of the people that are on this call listening in are competition. If you look at traditional business, you don't find a space where you have people cheering on like this.
But Craig, to that point, that's the really cool thing. If we're all co-owners in the same enterprise, we're actually all on the same team.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what's so beautiful about this opportunity. And Art nailed it there again, because he said, we're in this together, and we are. Mm-hmm. Everyone who's listening, you're the next one that's going to be featured on one of these webinars. And the minute that you become a speaker on a webinar is the minute that your ownership manifests in your own actions, and your business will explode.
Brent, anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, one of the things for me is we all come from different backgrounds, different makeups, and you know, this industry, what I love about this industry is you can't hide from it. It's you know, when something goes live, you know, how many of you know people that talk a good game? You know, they're full of talk, but when it comes action in this industry just overcomes everything. And what I love seeing right now is the people in Africa that is taking action on their future. You know, momentum in our industry loves speed. It loves people that are taking action. And I see people doing that. And the stock options are a great example of this, because, you know, I can't get enough stock options. Somebody asked me this weekend from Africa about stock options, and I said, well, it depends on how you're looking at stock options. I know where our company is going. I know we're a $500 million startup. I know that in 5 years, this stock could be explosive on the public traded market. And to think that you're in now, to think that you have opportunity to get ownership for you and your family and your people now, for me, it's one of those things, Craig, where I go, you know, why wouldn't you go after it? Why wouldn't you go after it? And I think for everybody on here, because you mentioned, you know, we're not going to sugarcoat this. This is like real talk. Like we're all here, we're in the game, we're ready to go play. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, there's a quote I wrote down today, and I actually posted it in a group of that people in Africa that is in this WhatsApp group. And I posted this morning, I said, you know, do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there's no path and leave a trail. And that's what you're doing right now. You guys are leaving a trail. You're going where there's no path. There's never been NewAge. There's never been this product portfolio for the people of Africa. There's never been these stock options for you to go after. You're leading the trail for people to follow. And, you know, I'm seeing so many people that's jumping on board and they're going ultimate, Craig. They're getting their pack, they're going ultimate, and then they're landing their first two, so they can be awarded those first 100 shares of stock options. And I just want to congratulate you. And if you're on here somewhere right now going, I hadn't quite done that yet, I would have to ask you, if not now, when? If not now, when? Because if we're sitting here as a group of people waiting on perfection, we're going to be waiting too late. Like the trail is meant to be blazed right now. The race is meant to be ran right now, right? And the people that's willing to do that are the people that will be standing on top of the mountain, and people will be pointing to them saying, man, I remember when there was no trail, but those guys went after it.
Mm-hmm. Well said. I love that. So the Brent Willis CEO Challenge, the Brent Willis Challenge, so we don't confuse it, right? The Brent Willis Challenge starts off with you getting an ultimate pack. Now I'm going to share my screen quickly. And I want to talk to this piece and then ask you all to add your comments on this. So I'm going back 25 years. And I remember going along to my first opportunity meeting. And here's what I knew with absolute certainty, was that it wasn't something that I wanted to do. I didn't want to go and speak to my friends. I didn't want to go and speak to strangers. I didn't want to go and sell any products. And I remember the guy that was doing the presentation that night said something which changed the course of my life. And he said, if doing what you're doing is not getting you what you want, maybe it's time for you to start doing something you don't necessarily want to do if it's going to give you what you want to have. Are you looking for pleasing methods, or are you looking for pleasing results? And I hated that he was right. Doing what I was doing at that time wasn't getting me what I wanted to have. And then I looked in this space and saw that there were people in this space that had the lifestyle that I wanted to have for myself and my family. And they were willing to teach me how they became successful, and I didn't have to pay them for their time. The only way they made money if what they taught me worked, and I started making money. But it meant me having to put my ego in my pocket and go, I want more, and I'm willing to go out and get out of my comfort zone. And getting out of your comfort zone means that you start with your own health transformation, which will give you the confidence that you need to then go and start selling some of our product. So if I could start with that, how would, and feel free to chime in, any of you, that how do you feel is the best way for people to maximize their ultimate pack?
Well, I can jump in on this one, Craig, because you literally spoke to me. I have the same quote in my mind. In fact, if you were to talk to members of my team, they would tell you this is Valencia's quote. And it went something like this: if being who you are could get you what you want, you'd have it already. So if you don't have it yet, then we have to be willing to undergo change. We have to be willing to look at new ideas. I was just like Craig. I come from a corporate background, never thought I would be involved in an industry like this where I would have to quote unquote sell. So I had to reframe it in my mind. And it started with shifting the vocabulary. So as Craig said, one thing I think all of us want to do is we want to be healthy. We want to live as young as we can for as long as we can. So the product allows you to take care of yourself. Now, here's the secondary part. Once you're feeling good, you want everyone you love to feel good. You want them to be healthy. And you really would be extremely selfish if you didn't, now notice what I said, not sell, but share your own transformation with people. And just that shift in the vocabulary allowed me to, talk to more people. I had to reframe it. And as humans, we have that ability. I never saw myself as a salesperson per se, but that's what I do. But I do it from the heart. I do it because I know the products work. And I know that if I have a passion to impact people and to help them get healthier, and the company allows me to generate income from doing that, that is what you call a win-win situation. So that's what I suggest. Use the product, experience the transformation, and then just share your story. I was one of these people who used to say I would never sell lotions, potions, powders, pills, and juice. I used to tell the world that. And I had to rescind. I had to come back and say I was wrong, because I transformed my mindset when I understood that I wasn't just selling a product, I was selling health. And if you have that inside of you, it's going to be easy. You're going to do it naturally. Your family members, your friends, the people you meet, you are going to do that naturally. And never in history is it more important than right now, because of the frame of time that we're living in. So take advantage of just reframing it. Do what you would do naturally, share good things with good people, and watch them thank you versus you feeling like you sold it. So that's my thoughts on it, Craig.
I love what Ms. Pamphile just said. And one of the things we've always done with our team, we stole it from Ms. Pamphile, so you guys get to steal it as well. We call it use it, share it, cash it. If you just learn how, because we've been doing this all our life, we've been using things that's been good, we've been sharing it, we just ain't been getting no cash for it. And so when you think about the simplicity of this, and I love what Ms. Pamphile said, because I'm definitely not a salesperson. For those who don't know me, I come from a law enforcement background, 7 years in the United States Coast Guard, 20 plus years, as a police officer, and retired as a homicide detective. And so, we don't sell anybody. We just tell you what to do. And if you don't do it, there's consequences. Well, so I looked at this made sense to me, because again, changing that language just from, and sure, we offer and we sell things, but the reality of it is we've been sharing things all our lives, and that's what we're getting ready to do now. You're going to use some of these fabulous products, you're going to share it with people, and the company is going to reward you for what you would have done anyway. To me, you cannot ask for anything better. And by the way, we will be sharing good things until we leave this planet Earth. And so I love, Ms. Pamphile just making me think about all of that, because that attributed a lot to my success, just changing the language.
Well said, Art. Well said, Valencia.
Craig, I'm looking at these products and I'm wishing I could reach to the screen and grab them, because I know that you shared a box with Ginger and I, and it's so funny. We're laying out our products this morning. She's like, well, these are mine. And I'm like, well, what do you mean these are yours? Right. So she's got hers, and I'm looking at this set. I'm thinking, man, I wish you would have gave us an ultimate pack, Craig, not just a sample pack, because then I could have had a set. Ginger's got a set, and all we got to do is go grab two people and say, hey, do this with us. We're getting our health on track this year. We want you to do this with us. And then the only thing else that I want to add is those sample packs. Brilliant, because that nighttime, just for anybody that doesn't sleep, and I sleep relatively good, I will tell you, I'm already addicted, right? Like, Craig, we're going to have to figure something out to get some more of that here, because you guys, the products work. And so, if you've got a spouse or significant other, there's two sets right there. Go find another couple to do it with you. And then the magic is this: anybody you run into, it doesn't matter. Just say, hey, try this tonight. You're not going to believe it. Try this tonight. You're not going to believe it. And before you know it, I promise you right now, if I could get a hold of this, I would be driving somewhere to get more products. And that's what the experience is going to be, as you experience them yourself and get a couple people to do it with you.
Well said, Aaron.
Well, and I want to add something to what Aaron just said, and Art and Valencia too. Craig, every major company that has launched a brand that has went on to be epic has been shared. People have ran out into their communities and they've shared it. We can go back in the United States with Tahitian Noni. People went to like fairs and shared it. They went anywhere they could and shared a bottle of noni juice. And it grew to almost $1 billion company. I think they've done crazy sales over 25 plus years of service to people in the world. And when I look at this product portfolio, I go, hey, Africa, this is your mark. Like, this is your time. This is your time to go out with this ultimate pack and start delivering to the people to expand the brand, that 20 plus years down the road, you'll look back upon this moment of time and go, I started that movement in my tribe.
Mm-hmm. Love that.
So Craig,
go ahead, John.
Just real quick on the specifics. You buy an ultimate pack, you share 3 full sets, right? With 3 people, and 2 people get just the nighttime and the burn, the thermo. After you get your money back, you get an additional 3,760 on top of that. Okay. If you look at this from a business perspective, it's a complete no-lose situation. So do it now.
Well said. So if you look at traditional business, maybe that's not the correct vocabulary, but you guys can correct my vocabulary. The only way for you to get equity in a company is to buy it, right? So if you look at any company on the stock exchange right now, the only way that you're going to get any of that equity is to take money out of your pocket, money that you traded your time to earn, and you're going to go and buy those shares in that company. What Brent Willis has put together here is the opportunity for you to earn your stock options through sweat equity, going out and doing some work, and in that work, you can earn some stock options. So I'm going to leave it to you guys because you're far better at explaining this than what I ever could be. Talk about the work. What are the first steps? And we can move around. There's no order to this. Anybody can chime in and comment. How do, if I was a brand new person, where do I start? What's the first step?
First step is 100% convert yourself to the product. Get your ultimate pack yesterday. Start using it. You've been through the training sessions that showed you what high quality this is, the amount of genius that went into the formulation and how to use it. Use it yourself. As soon as you feel it, which could be as early as the next day, immediately go out and, as Aaron said, get other people to do it with you. That's all it takes, really.
Definitely say one of those second steps, coming behind John, and that is, creating a list, because it's so often we try to go off of memory. And I'll tell you guys what I've always done, and this is, obviously now we have a cell phone, and so you can go through your contacts, but I've always manually, kind of old school, written out a list. Now I kind of type it in my notes in my phone. But what I do is, to try to help my memory, is I have this jog memory list that makes me think about all the different categories of people that you tend to forget about. And what we teach individuals is everybody should be on your list. Like, put my name on your list because it may make you think of someone in the US. Put Craig's name on your list because it may make you think of another guy named Craig. Like, don't eliminate, take yourself when you're making a list and limit yourself to the list. Just make that list, because you'll be surprised. And whatever you do as you're making the list, and this is just one of the steps, make sure that you don't try to make a decision for that person as you starting contacting people on the list.
Here's how I like to look at things. And when I'm looking at this, here's what I see. I see, step 1, get an ultimate pack. Of course, I want to experience the products. Step 2, I want to find 2 people that want to do the same thing that I did. I get 100 options, and then I can go earn more. But I'm going over to the right, and I'm looking at, chairperson, 1,000 share options. And where I go is, what if, not what if it doesn't work, but what if it does? What if these guys are right? What if this company explodes over the next few years, which I believe it will? What if those share options go to $20 a share, $50 a share, $100 a share? let me just I'll just go in the middle. Let's say $50 a share. And what would I be willing to do right now if somebody said, Aaron, if you'll just go work for the next 30 to 60 days as hard as you can, expose as many people as you can to these products in this program. You do that. You go as hard. You just don't judge anybody. Just go share it with everybody that you can. Don't worry about the ones that say yes. Don't worry about the ones that say no. The ones that say yes, you show them what you did. I'll give you $50,000. How would you go attack this? Because it could be worth more than that. Now, we don't know what it's going to be, but what would you do if? And really, that's a perspective that I would attack this at. You guys, where else can you have an opportunity? I've never seen it. So again, it's all perspective, right? The steps are right there. 1, 2, 3, repeat process. Don't think.
And I'm going to jump.
Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
going to jump right in, right on top of what Aaron just said. You can look at this sheet and get like, oh, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. I have this amount of time, or did you hear Aaron's passion? Let me tell you right now that I have learned in the industry over the years, as well as these other people on the panel. You go set yourself on fire right now, and people will come from miles and miles away to watch you burn. And they do not know what you're burning on. They don't know what is the fuel in your body, but dang it, they want it in theirs. They wanted it. So you can analytically think about this sheet, or you can start treating this like this is gold on the side of the road. Let me ask you right now, just think about this. If you were driving down the road right now and you ran up on this huge pot of gold on the side of the road, what would you do? It's too much for you to load up in your car. You've got to call some friends to get it with you. Would you call them up and say, hey, Craig, if it's not a burden, if it's not too much time to ask, if you've got a couple of minutes, I don't know, I've got to explain a lot to you. No, you wouldn't.
And if I said to you, Brent, I got to go and clip the cat's toenails, you'd be like, cool, enjoy that, move on, let's find somebody else, right?
Absolutely. You would be on the phone saying, Craig, get your truck over here. Oh my goodness, I have a load of gold for you to load up. Get over here right now, get it loaded up. You don't have time. Next, I'm to the next person. That's what Aaron is saying. Guys, this company is going to be massive in the next 3 to 5 years. This, with or without me or you, this organization is going to be massive throughout Africa in the next year, 2 years, 3 years. And right now you're sitting with gold all around you. You set yourself on fire right now. And I'll end with this on my part, but I believe promotions are meant to be won by leaders. Anytime a promotion is run in the organization, I want to win it selfishly because I want the leaders, I want the owners, I want everybody to see me winning it. They see my name. They see my name. They see my rally. They see me raising my hand. And you know what? If somebody were to say, Brent, how did you make it to earning millions of this industry? Because I win promotions every time they've won, bar none. Bar none.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to jump in, and I'm going to go all the way back even before John spoke. Everybody told you the exact recipe for creating success. And that's really what I believe it is. I mean, if there's any ladies, and then there's some good male cooks as well. But if you give me the recipe for a chocolate cake and I follow it exactly, my cake's going to taste like your cake. So you are listening to individuals who went out and did it. We're not just on this platform to tell you what to do. We're here because we did what we're telling you to do. And so step 1 is be coachable. Coachable means that when someone tells you what to do, regardless of whether you agree, regardless of whether you understand, just do it. Sometimes we spend way too much time in our heads and we're saying, well, what if, and maybe it won't work, and this person is different. And we clog our heads with so many things that prevent us from taking action. But just be coachable. Listen to what everyone said. Listen to, I need to use the product. Listen to, I need to have a list of people I'm going to talk to. Listen to, I have to be enthusiastic about what I'm doing. And listen to the fact, and this is real important to me. I lived in New York State. And when the company was starting, someone said to me, if you don't, someone else will come into your state, own everything, and talk to everybody. And I was right there. Same holds true for Africa. Those of you who are listening to this, I have so much respect for Craig because he made sure that the product was designed for Africa. The compensation plan was designed for Africa. You have everything in right there for you. Don't let someone else from somewhere else come and own it all because you're sitting there trying to figure it out. So fear of loss has more motivation sometimes than desire for gain. What Brent said is absolutely true. This is going to happen with or without you.
Mm-hmm.
So why should it happen without you if you're there? It's for you. So I encourage all of you guys, go and get as much of it as you want. And if you get it all, well, it's our loss. But if you don't, just understand it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. So sometimes you need that added motivation to say, you know, I'm not missing another one. As I don't know if it was John or Aaron. Sometimes we just don't know that this may be the last opportunity coming our way of this magnitude. And lastly, Craig said you earn shares. I shifted that in my mind because the truth is you earn commissions. For what you do get paid. To me, the stock is a gift. And if someone is giving you a piece of the company, that's a little bit different than I had to go because you can do the work and stock doesn't have to be on the table. And it is worth it even if they never gave you a share of stock. But now they're giving you a gift of a publicly traded company. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than this. So I suggest get coachable and do everything you said, everything that you heard people say today.
And Valencia, I just want to tell you that, and this is not to put the fear of loss into anyone, but this is just speaking the truth. You know, ever since we, started our campaign with Africa, we started asking people right here in the U.S., do you know anyone in South Africa?
That's correct.
And so, I mean, so this is, we're not just saying this to try to, make you feel fearful that somebody's going to take over your country. This is really the truth. And it's amazing how many people we have already found in South Africa. But here's the part that was really scary is that we found one person that knew like several leaders in South Africa. And so when Valencia says that, hey, you don't want somebody, that's not even in your country to start, creating what's taking place with your friends and your family. And you're like, what happened? I knew about this before they did. So very valid point, Valencia.
I agree. John, Brent, anything else to add?
So I would just say, to wrap this up, Valencia expressed this as a gift, and it's a gift only for a select few, and that's the first movers.
Mm-hmm.
This is only for first movers. You got to move right now if you want this.
Jared is in South Africa right now, and it's a public holiday there today, and it's probably 20 to 8 p.m. On a Monday evening after a long weekend. And I just wonder how many people are sitting watching TV, throwing their brain at that automatic income reducing machine, going, my life sucks. I got to get up tomorrow and go to work. And
to
I
my 9 to 5 that I hate.
And waiting for a phone call from somebody that says, hey, I just got off a Zoom 5 minutes ago with a bunch of dollar millionaires on a business that's expanding through Africa, and we're looking to work with one or two entrepreneurially minded people that keep their options open to a good business opportunity. Can we get on a Zoom together and throw around a few ideas? Like, how many people
Mm.
are sitting waiting for that call because their life and I'm not saying everybody's life sucks. I'm not suggesting that. But there are people right now that go, there's got to be more than this. And if it came, I would take it. And you arrive with that gift.
And Craig, if there's anything that I can add to that, I think we kind of tried to do our part in putting that sign up for everyone out there, because those of you who are following us on Facebook, you would have got the message to say, NewAge Africa is going live now. I just want to put it out there. That was the sign you were actually hoping for if you are watching telly. And I just want to say that I'm humbled and honored to be on this panel with you guys. And I think for everyone watching this call, I hope you kind of see that they say you are the product of the people you spend your most time with. And yeah, we get to spend this last hour with dollar millionaires, as you say, Craig. And in my mind, it's not that hard. 4 simple steps that can really change your life. And I just want to remind everyone, those 4 little steps get you a lot of money in this challenge. But over and above that, there's also your commissions, which isn't even mentioned, isn't even taken into account in any of those calculations. So this is really an opportunity that can change your life. And I've been taking a lot of notes. I haven't been talking as much because I've been taking so many notes. But yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm humbled to be on this call with you guys.
Thank you, Jared, for saying that.
It's all about action, if I can add anything else. So let's get to action.
Taking
Africa.
action. Yeah. So as we start wrapping up, I'm going to just ask, no particular order, anybody just want to have some closing comments, and feel free to say whatever's on your heart that you feel would be of benefit to people listening into this call.
I guess I'll go first again. I will tell everybody it's about belief. You know, you would never take the action if you didn't believe. So what is it that is preventing you from believing everything we say? Well, as Jared said, and as Craig said, you're listening to individuals who've created millions. So that helps to create belief. My success came from looking at someone who was successful and saying, if he could, I know I could. And so the belief comes, and your belief is going to get stronger. But if you have enough belief, guess what's going to happen? You will take the action of getting the ultimate pack. And you still may not have enough belief, but when you do that, guess what you're going to get? You're going to get results, and you're going to say, oh my goodness, I got some results. And those results are going to create more belief, which is going to create more action, which is going to create more results. And it becomes a cycle. So the first thing you have to do is believe. And it's easy. You have a tangible product. You have the Brent Willis challenge on the table. So those things are real. Just believe us enough to take the first step, get your ultimate pack, and then believe enough to have 2 conversations or 4 conversations. And you know what's going to happen after that? You're going to get results, and we won't be able to stop you. And then the next thing, you're going to get stock, and you're not going to be able to stop talking. And we may even say, slow down. I don't think we'll ever say slow down, but we might say, you're good. You're going to say, no, there's 54 countries in this continent, and you're going to keep going. So trust me, just believe us. Craig mentioned it's a holiday. Today is a holiday for me. It's my 35th wedding anniversary. And you know what I did? I said to my husband, I'm taking my computer and I'm getting on this South African Zoom because I believe. And I'm telling you guys, sometimes you have to reprioritize things. Belief will get you action, and you're going to get results, and you won't need us anymore. We'll be saying, can we please get on the panel? And it'll be full of individuals from South Africa. So I look forward to that day. And that's my closing comments. And again, thank you so much for allowing me to be here.
It's a holiday, so everyone's home and they're free, right? So this is maybe the best day of the year to reach out to people. It's so simple. Get your ultimate pack today, okay? And talk to as many people as you can. You get at least 2, you're in the shares. Grab your shares now because they're not available in the future. This is only for first movers, and you should be one of those first movers. The first movers are the ones who get the dividends forever.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And I would say in closing, one of my favorite sayings is just do it. You're going to have excuses. No matter who you are, where you are, who's listening, you're going to have excuses. Remember this. I've heard this a long time ago. Excuses only satisfy the person who's making them. So you're going to have excuses, but they're only satisfying you. So at the end of the day, what you want to do is just focus on just doing it. You may say, I don't think I have the right personality. Nope, no problem. Still just do it. You may say, I don't think I have enough money. Don't worry about that. Just do it. You may say, I don't think I have enough time. Don't worry about that. Just do it, because what it's going to get down to is, what is your biggest why? What is that why? For me, and I don't want to, get emotional, so I'm not going to share my why, because y'all need to see me cry right now. But they say, if your why don't make you cry, it's not big enough. But there's folks that's listening to this from all over the world, and you're saying to yourself, I want to do this. But start to ask yourself, what's the why? What's the why that's bigger than just you? What are some things you've always dreamed of changing in your life and your family's history? And that why, I think it's so exciting that NewAge can bring you that. And then lastly, I'll leave you with this. I so appreciate the gift that Valencia talked about as it relates to the gifting of the stocks. When I met Mr. Brent Willis, and I know I'm talking to somebody, because somebody's already said, you know what I'll do? I'll just go purchase the stocks. And you know what Mr. Brent Willis told me? He said, all right, why would you buy them when I want to give them to you? It's better to just earn them and let me gift them to you, because you can't lose. And it made so much sense to me. And so I'm saying to you, why don't you just let us gift them? It's something, again, as I said earlier, you're going to be doing it anyway. And I'll close with this part. From my heart, I have just a passion for health. And for those who don't know, I was born at birth with lung cancer. They removed the right bottom portion of my lungs. I was talking to someone the other day, just trying to help them almost understand and feel the pain that I went through growing up as a kid, because I was so sickly. And as I continue to grow and deal with so many different pharmaceutical drugs and so many different specialty doctors, to be here today, to stand before you guys and talk about taking no pharmaceutical drugs a day, all just natural and organic products. And all of this stuff is happening because now this company brings us to, NewAge brings us to it. So it's bigger than just the money sometimes. It's bigger than just some of the things that you even think about, the impact that we can do to other people. And you right now don't know who life that you're going to impact, that you impacted in a positive way, that they live just a little bit longer, or they're able to pass down this next generational, wealth or health. And so just think about these things. And so I'm so happy that Craig has put together this platform, that we can come together and we can just give from our heart. Now, Craig says something really key. We're not financially benefiting from this. So I know sometimes people say, what are they getting? We get nothing. We're giving our time. We're giving our energy. We're giving you our story because we feel someone did that with us. So we want to do that back with you. So thank you, Craig, again.
Thank you, Art. Love that.
Art, to that point, Mark Wilson has a saying, you got to be crazy before you're lucky. And I'm thinking about back when somebody, thank goodness, shared an opportunity with me almost 20 years ago in this industry. I was at a time in my life where I had just lost everything. I was financially retired, lost everything. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I'm thinking, and Valencia, it's your anniversary. And some people might say, well, you're crazy. People, Aaron, you're gone. You missed your friend's, wedding. You missed this holiday. You missed birthdays. You're crazy. You're crazy. You're crazy. Aaron, you can't do that. You're crazy. Aaron, that'll never work. You're crazy. And then you fast forward and I think, how lucky that, because maybe in Africa, it's a holiday and it's evening, but where I'm sitting, it's the middle of the day and I could choose what I wanted to do with this time. It wasn't dictated by somebody else. Now people say, well, Aaron, you're lucky. I got to go to work. Aaron, you're lucky. You have some money that you can go ahead and help these at-risk kids. Aaron, you're so lucky. Valencia, you're so lucky that you were able to say, hey, honey, I'm going to take this hour or two and pour into people because somebody poured into me one time. John, he's living a dream on an island, it's sunny every day. John, you're so lucky. But what they didn't see is how crazy he was in Japan, going no after no after no after no, doing whatever it took. People said, Art, are you kidding me? I mean, you're a police officer. What are you crazy? You're not going to go do one of those things, are you? And today they say, Art, you're so lucky. because you own your time. Coach Palmer, why would you give up a career? I mean, come on, you're athletic director, you're a coach, you've got all this stuff going on. You're crazy to throw that away and go after your dreams. But today he lives them. So today you decide, am I going to just be a little bit crazy? So someday someone will call me lucky, and you'll own your time. And the only way to do that is make a decision followed by massive action.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, that's super, super powerful. And what you just said, I hope everybody that is on this, our prayer is that you go get your peace for you and your family. I mean, that really is our prayer. You know, I look back and I go, what Aaron was just talking about is, if you look at our industry, we have an opportunity to make money through commissions, and the money we make creates the lifestyle. It creates the lifestyle. It creates the lifestyle that Valencia today is in North Carolina on her anniversary, doing what she wants to do. And she's here with Africa because she wants to be here, not because she's got to be here. And whatever the lifestyle is for you, the money creates the freedom to have the lifestyle. But then the lifestyle allows you to have an impact. See, today, because Valencia has been able to create her own lifestyle, then she's able to impact you today in Africa. And the more money you make, the more lifestyle you have, the more impact you make. And it's just a triangle that goes around and around and around and becomes a scorecard. And here's what we're all telling you today in Africa. It's the start of your scorecard. Today is the start of your scorecard, because we are looking for people to raise their hand and be a part of the first leadership group inside of Africa. Everybody can talk a good game. Everybody can lead with the tongue in their mouth. We're looking for people to lead with the tongue in their shoes, to lead with the sweat equity, to lead with movement and action and becoming ultimate, and then becoming owners in the company with those 100 shares of stock and going above and beyond that. And for those people that are willing to believe, to go do it before the staircase is built, you, my friends, will be the ones that we turn to in Africa and go, what do you think? What's your opinion? What's your thought on this? Because you get an opinion by taking action and taking ownership. And in this industry, that's the only way you get an opinion. Today's your day. It's your start of your scorecard.
Well said, Brent. John, was there something you wanted to wrap up with?
I think the time for action is now. If you're listening to this, you're feeling it. You're feeling motivated. Now get off this call and start reaching out to people.
Good job. Our panel, well done. Thank you, everybody, for being on this call. You guys are sensational. I'm humbled, as Jared said. I'm equally as humbled by how you continually have a spirit of contribution, a spirit of giving back without expecting anything in return. And I think often people have a look into the space from the outside going, what's the catch? And while you're waiting to find the catch, the others are going out and actioning and taking action. And there is no catch here. We genuinely, sincerely want to be celebrating your success. We want to be recognizing you. We're wanting to parade you as the new examples of what people who own their life could be in Africa. And we look forward to the opportunity to celebrate and applaud and recognize every single one of you. So to our panelists, thank you so much for being on this call today. Our social media team will be posting some stuff about what our next events are coming up over the next while. And we're excited to, as I said, recognize every single one of you. So panelists, Art, thank you, Sir Valencia. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your time today. Aaron, you and Ginger continue to give, and for that we celebrate and acknowledge you. Thank you so much. Coach Palmer, John Wadsworth, thank you so much. Jared, thank you for your time. Have a great evening, everybody. Bye-bye.
Love you guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Grateful for you.
Love you guys.
So long, everyone.